Hey, what's up, people? My name is Julian, and today we are going to go over attendance in Clockify. Clockify lets you track daily employee work hours, breaks, overtime hours, and time off. You can add as many employees as you need with different roles and permissions, different working days, and different daily working capacities. Let's see how attendance management works in Clockify. The attendance report allows you to get daily insights on employee attendance and working hours. You can see when employees clocked in, when they clocked out, and how much time they spent working, the breaks they took, and the overtime hours for each day. You can use this to report to see who worked when on each day, or you can use it for auditing by using filters. So for example, you can set an overtime filter and choose the last month range to get a list of everyone who had overtime and on which date. Or you can filter out employees who didn't log their mandatory 30-minute breaks. Or you can see everyone who started before 9 a.m., clocked out after 5 p.m., and so on, in case you have employees whose payouts depend on the time of day. You can export everything in a CSV or Excel file in case you want data for internal log or payroll software. If you're using detailed report or summary report, you can also save and share a link to the custom report with others in your team. Before you can analyze data in the reports, let's see how you invite employees and manage their work, hours, breaks, and time off. Two types of users can be part of your workspace: full members and limited members. Full members have full access to all active features in Clockify for which they have permissions, while limited users can only access the kiosk feature for the simplest time tracking. We'll see how kiosk clock-in works, but first let's add people. You can do that in bulk or one by one and invite them to join the workspace right away or after you've set everything up. On the team page, you can customize information on each employee, starting from the day on which their working week starts. What are their weekly working days, and what is their daily working capacity? Setting up the capacity will be a crucial part when you start tracking attendance. If your working days, start of the week, and the start of the day are the same for everyone, you can define defaults for new members in the workspace settings or bulk update everything on the team page. To have more complete information on each employee, you can add custom user fields for information such as employment type, such as full or part-time, or employee ID. Another useful way to organize your employees is to organize them in groups, which act as teams or departments. Then it'll be easier to assign them to projects. Projects in Clockify are a way to categorize to track time. When creating projects, give them a name, a color, and a client if the project has one. For each project, you can set the tasks employees will be working on and mark which ones are billable. You can define who will have access to a project by granting access to some people or groups only, or by making it public and visible for everyone in your organization. Now, in order to track breaks, the option has to be enabled first. As you enable break tracking, you can set up the default break project. Now, when employees start tracking time, they will also be able to track breaks in the same way, and you'll have a complete and accurate record of their working day. Before employees start tracking their time, you can define their time tracking targets and set up reminders if they don't track enough time or track too much. These reminders can be customized for a specific person or a team based on their working capacity or a specific number of hours, and can be sent on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis to employees themselves, their managers, or admins. Now, there are multiple ways to track work and break time in Clockify. The tracker is the default way for tracking time, while the timesheet has to be enabled in order to be available. In the tracker, you can track time with a timer, which you use in a way that you start and stop the timer as you start and stop working on certain activities. The tracker also has a manual mode, in which you can switch to if you forgot to start the timer before starting the activity. If you don't want people from your team to track time manually, you can activate the option to force timer option in the workspace settings, and the only available option to track time will be through the timer. To track break time, switch to break mode and start the timer the same way. Recorded breaks will have a coffee cup icon to differentiate between regular time entries. In the timesheet, you enter time in bulk for each project you are working on a daily or weekly basis. Now, if you've added limited users to the team, they will only be able to track time through a kiosk. Employees can use a kiosk to clock in to work, track time, some jobs, tasks, projects, track breaks, and clock out. A kiosk can be opened on any internet-connected device, and you can set up permissions on who will be able to launch it. Additionally, you can track time on the mobile or desktop app, both of which come with different advanced features. If your employees are traveling while working or visiting client sites, you can activate GPS tracking and keep track of their daily routes while they're tracking time on Clockify's mobile app. The desktop app has an integrated auto tracker mode, which allows you to track activity on visited apps and browser tabs right from the moment you turn on your computer. This way, you can see how much time you spent working on documents, emails, or other apps. You can also use Clockify's browser extension to track time inside other apps. It'll all be synced on the Clockify website. Track time can be submitted for approval in the tracker, timesheet, and on mobile. Suppose your employees are often visiting client sites, working outside, or traveling for work. In that case, Clockify gives them an option to log their work hours while providing information on their daily routes. To use this, GPS location tracking has to be enabled, and employees must have their Clockify app installed on mobile devices. Location can't be tracked without the user's knowledge and permission. With the right permissions, the location will be recorded each time they start or stop the timer, or when they significantly change their location. In the web app, you can see who has their timer on and replay daily employee routes. You can review locations for the past 7 days. All locations older than 7 days are automatically deleted forever. When employees have their timer active, they will also have a timer icon next to their name in the dashboard. Here you can see who is currently tracking time, the last recorded activity, and the overview of the most tracked project and client. You can also see who is working on what and for how long. Managing time off with Clockify, you can manage employee leaves, holidays, and balances. Time off is managed through holidays or other custom time off policies. Holidays don't require approval and are usually applicable to everyone in the company, depending on the country you operate in. You can customize holidays for employees in different countries and choose if they repeat annually. To make it even easier, you can use Clockify's add-on for public holidays and important national holidays from different countries. When creating time off policies, you can choose the members to whom it applies and specify whether it will be expressed in hours, in days, and if half days are allowed in that case. You can decide if the policy requires approval and by whom, if it will accrue automatically each month or each year. If there is a limit for an allowed negative balance, if a negative balance is allowed, employees can request time off even if they don't have enough balance for that particular policy. You can also enable half-day time off requests and set up that approved time off requests get automatically logged as time off entries to ensure accurate logs across all reports. Then, as employees start requesting their time off, you can approve requests and track request history. Once approved, you can track employee absence for the current and future months from the Timeline tab. As employees request and use their time off, their balance will automatically change, and they can always see their remaining days off right from the Balance tab. In the Balance tab, you can make adjustments to the policy, add more time off days to employees, and check their time off history. Clockify also allows you to add additional days to employees' time off, regardless of their balance state. Clockify lets you plan shifts and assignments for employees. You can start by allocating people to projects, or by allocating projects to people. If, for starters, you want to plan shifts for employees, start from the team view. The team view lets you see the daily, weekly capacity of each team member before assigning them to more or less complex projects. Start by adding a team member and then allocating projects and tasks accordingly. Assigned tasks can be marked as billable or non-billable and be recurring for a certain number of weeks, which is great if you work in shifts. As you schedule team members, you will be able to see their capacity as full, X hours open, or X hours over, so you know exactly how many hours you can assign them. Schedules will also reflect approved time off, so you know who's available and when. If you schedule someone over the capacity, you can edit their capacity right there to adjust it to the schedule or leave it as it is to track their overtime hours. Project View reflects the same information, and if you want to schedule from this perspective, first add the project and then the person assigned to it, and create an assignment in the same way. Project View also lets you add milestones for important dates or check-in points. After you make and publish schedules, your team will know exactly what they need to work on and can start tracking time on assignments right from their calendar. You can use scheduling to plan future revenues and costs. This feature helps you better plan your cash flow and anticipate how much revenue your planned activities will bring versus how much they will cost you. First, make sure to have this option active. And as you make assignments, future revenue amounts and costs will be calculated based on the set rates and billability of assignments in both scheduling views. And that's all. If you want to learn more about other Clockify features, make sure to visit our website for our other videos or check us out on YouTube. Thanks again for watching. That's all for now, and I'll see you next time.